Hi, welcome to Just a Minute on Eastern Sierra Now. I'm your host, Jesse Steele. Here's how this show works. Every candidate gets the same 10 questions and exactly 1 minute to answer each. When the clock hits 0, we move on. It's fast, it's fair, and it's all about giving you a clear picture of the people asking for your vote. Make sure to subscribe to Eastern Sierra Now on YouTube and follow us on all platforms to stay informed on everything happening in your community. Let's get into it. We're here with Supervisor Trina Orrill. Trina has served as District 1 Supervisor since January 2023, focusing on representing her constituents and addressing the unique challenges facing Inyo County. She's now seeking re-election with a continued commitment to protecting our natural resources, supporting strong and resilient communities, and serving with transparency and integrity. Supervisor Trina Orrill, welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Yeah. You ready to get into the first question?
I am.
Let's do it. Okay, first question. Why did you choose to run for county supervisor at this point in your life?
At this point in my life, I'm seeking re-election. I originally ran as District 1 Supervisor because I thought that I'm uniquely positioned to be the voice of the people that I represent. I have grown up here. I raised a family here. My husband is from here. And it gives me a really unique perspective on the needs and challenges of Inyo County. And it's all about giving back to my community and service, which is something that my parents instilled in me from a very young age. And after serving on school board for 12 years, it was a natural step into this because I felt like I could do more for my community in this position. As much as I love being on school board, this gives me a greater advantage to serve my community.
Okay, excellent answer. Thank you very much. Question number 2. What experiences in your background have best prepared you to serve the people of Inyo County?
First and foremost, being a resident of Inyo County since I was 5 years old, and definitely has developed my knowledge and understanding of what it takes to live here, what the drawbacks are, what the advantages are. Raising a family here also makes me uniquely qualified to do that. And being on the school board for 12 years, that really taught me how government works and how you can really be a voice for the people that you represent and how you can advocate for improvement in your community. But at the same time, also preserving what makes us so unique and so wonderful. And also being a small business owner, I understand the value of a dollar. I understand that every penny spent by a government agency comes out of the taxpayer's dollar, out of the taxpayer's pocket.
What do you see as the most important challenge facing Inyo County right now?
So due to our small population, our isolation, and our large geography, which is very diverse and brings lots of natural resources for a recreationist, housing, infrastructure, and resource management are some of the biggest challenges that are always ongoing in your county. But the biggest challenge right now is the state budget, which is going to impact every county, but especially small rural counties like Inyo County. As we move forward through the next 5 to 10 years, how it's handled at a state level is really going to make a difference in how we deliver services.
Okay, this one has my favorite word in the English language. How can a county supervisor best serve a rural and geographically large community like ours?
I think for Inyo County, which is unique in all ways, not just population, but we're small and we're also the second largest geographically in the state, so we're very spread out. So what I have found being county supervisor, the most important thing is being accessible to the constituents and the residents and being able to listen and understand what impacts their daily lives so that to bring that forward into my decision-making process as a focus being my constituents, and that makes me a much more effective supervisor.
Okay, thank you for that. It's great insight. What does good leadership look like to you in county government?
Good leadership is being transparent, being responsible, being accountable, and having integrity in everything that I do as District 1 Supervisor. The people see me and expect me to represent them on several different stages, both local and state, and also on a federal level. When I am interacting with representatives at a state and federal level, I'm representing District 1, it's kind of all of Inyo County.
Really?
And so to carry myself with those values is really important and should be expected of all leaders.
Okay, you ready to keep moving?
Yes.
Perfect. What qualities make someone an effective county supervisor beyond experience?
I think the most important skill that any leader, but particularly in county government, can have is the ability to truly listen. That doesn't mean just being quiet while somebody's talking. That means actually listening to what they're saying and understanding what's behind what they're talking to you about. Being able to empathize with them, whether you agree with them ideologically, philosophically, or not. It's so important to be able to understand where somebody's coming from, because the decisions that I make impact day-to-day lives. So I need to have empathy for every single person that I serve and keep that at the forefront of what I do. And I also have to have a fairly thick skin. Most of the time when people call me or want to talk to me, it's because something's bad or negative is happening, and I can't take that personal. I'm here to represent them. I'm here to help them. And so it's really important that I have good listening skills, I have a thick skin, and then I'm able to take that into my decision-making process.
Okay, how do you ensure your decisions reflect the needs of the entire community?
First and foremost, I make sure that I'm informed, and I make sure that I'm well informed. And what that means is reading every piece of information that's put in front of me, reading emails, and listening to constituents and what their concerns are. It means having the patience to listen to constituents and colleagues, to administrators, to ensure that I'm gathering as much information as I possibly can to inform my decision-making process. And at the core of every single decision has to be the well-being of my constituents and the county.
Can you describe a difficult decision you faced and what you learned from it?
I can't think of one singular decision that I would point to, but I would say that there's a collection of decisions throughout my life. And just by the nature of mistake-making, I've learned the importance of being informed. I've learned the importance of being patient and listening to ensure that I'm not being reactive in my decision-making, because there are unintended consequences when you're too reactive. And so I always endeavor to slow down, be cautious when it's necessary, but not afraid to move when I need to move in order to make the right decision for my constituents in the county. And I've learned that throughout my business life and being on school board, and also being as a supervisor for this last term.
How would you approach managing county resources and budgets while still delivering essential services?
That is the essence of what I do as a supervisor and what representatives do. That is our job. Accountability and transparency are incredibly important when it comes to managing resources and budgets, because you have to balance the two against each other. And so keeping the good of the county and the people who live here at the forefront keeps that balance out.
How would you keep residents informed and engaged with decisions that affect their daily lives?
So as a school board member, as a county supervisor, and as a business owner, it's really important to rely on your communication sources. In today's world, we have social media, which is a really good way of communicating. And I've also held multiple community meetings on different issues that I feel are relevant and important to my constituents and all of Inyo County, in an effort to keep them informed and to communicate and be accessible. I have my email out there. I have my phone number out there. Anytime someone calls me, and one of the luxuries of being in a small community where we know most everybody, we can communicate even at the grocery store. But it is important that we also use our professional avenues of the media and community meetings, newspapers, etc. Every effort should always be made.
Perfect. Right on the money. Excellent. Okay, so at this point, we'd like to give you the option to speak to the voters directly and just give a little bit about your campaign and maybe how they can reach out.
So it's been an absolute pleasure and honor for me to serve Inyo County as District 1 Supervisor this last term. I'm looking forward to this next term to continue the work that I've started and to continue to be that voice of advocacy for the people that live in Inyo County, because it's so important being in a rural county, but a small rural county. It's important that we're at the table, that we're advocating, that we're constantly voicing the needs of the people that live here. And so I'm really looking forward to continuing that work alongside my colleagues and my constituents, because none of us do this alone. And if anyone has any questions or they want to talk to me about any of the issues that we raised here today or concerns that they have, they're welcome to email me or give me a phone call anytime.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure.
It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Just a Minute at Eastern Sierra Now. Our goal is to keep you informed, engaged, and connected to what matters most in our community. If you found this helpful, subscribe on YouTube and follow us across all platforms so you never miss an update. And remember, local elections matter. Be informed and be sure to vote. We'll see you next time.